Lowe's had the Christmas light sales again this year, which were extraordinarily cheap. The C9 strings, incandescent, were $3 and change. I'm going to say $3.49 or 23 cents. Really cheap. And the mini lights for a string of 100 was $1. So I bought a whole bunch of all of them. I looked around at one local store and couldn't find anything. So then I went on a website and was checking the availability of the lights at other local stores, and I just couldn't get anything locally. So I just ordered it from the website, and it was free shipping, so there was no disadvantage. And I don't know why I didn't just do that last year. It was a lot easier. Well, anyways, I have no immediate use for these, but it's no secret that these are getting harder and harder to find. A box of bulbs for the C9s, a box of 25 bulb is up to about $16. The string is $3. I don't really need the cord, but yeah, it's kind of just makes more sense at this point. I gladly just purchase the bulbs, but if they're not going to be economical, then I'm going to do what I'm being enticed to do, which is just buy the whole string. So let's take a look at these. Of course, Christmas has passed this year, so I'm not going to be using any of these lights this year. But let's see what they look like. I've never used the mini lights from Lowe's. I've only used the mini lights from the Home Accent Holiday brand, which I really like. Had a very good experience with that brand. So this brand is Holiday Living, which I guess is the Lowe's store brand. The one disappointment about this is these boxes, the design change. I really liked the design last year. It was like an old-fashioned, warm design. Really cool. I really liked it. And now this year they got this design, which is kind of bland. It's okay, but I like the other one a lot better. So the strings have a nice, decent size leader, which is kind of rare. Of course, it's got this stupid tag on there, but this is not as bad as the tag that comes on the Home Accent Holiday lights. It's got a big honking yellow tag and this and that, all sorts of other stuff. Plug looks fine. The wire is reasonably thick. It's wrapped twice, which is kind of a pain in the neck to open. It did come with 2 spare bulb and 1 fuse, and for some reason the package is about 5 times larger than it needs to be. They come with user servicing instructions, which tells you how to replace the bulb and the fuse, which I'm sure nobody reads, so that's fine. It says these are each string is 0.17 amps or 20.4 of the watts, and it says you're allowed to connect up to 216 watts, so you can plug quite a few of these together, which is interesting. Each bulb is 0.43 watts, 2.5 volts. Alright, well, let's plug these in and see what they look like. They look fine to me. Let's spread them out a little bit, because that does make a huge difference in the appearance. Yeah, that's perfectly acceptable. They're reasonably bright. The colors are nice and warm. Works for me. For all I know, these are made by the same company that makes the Home Accent Holiday. They probably are. Alright, so these are good. We'll go ahead and put these back in the box. And we'll have these for next year, or whenever it is that I need them. I didn't buy any white ones. I really don't use a whole lot of white ones in 100 because the garland that's white in the living room is pre-lit. And then I use white lights on those small greenery pieces, but those are short strings of I think 12 or 20, strings of 20. So that's about all I use white lights for, so I don't need too many of those. Alright, so those are nice, I like those. For $1 a piece, it's hard to go wrong. Alright, now let's take a look at these multicolor ceramic C9 lights. It's got a huge piece of paper in there. Printed in Cambodia. That's kind of unusual. We've created these easy to follow instructions to ensure you spend your time enjoying the product instead of putting it together. I mean, what's there to put together? It's a string of lights. So these are the same. They look like they're the same quality as the ones from last year. There's multiple imperfections in the paint. And while it is obvious, you know, as we're scrutinizing these things up close, once you put them outside, it's not that obvious. Plus, they tend to get nicked up anyways as they're whipping around on the trees in the wind and so forth. So it's not a big deal for $3. They work. I mean, you can definitely see now that the paint job is just garbage. Now look at that, that's abysmal. That's all marks. That's the spot where it's coming off. That's not a reflection. See that? It just scratches right off. So these are not very good quality lights by any means. Yeah, will they last 2 or 3 years before they look too bad? Probably. I've had these outside this year and they look like this out of the box and they still look like this. It hasn't gotten any worse. I would be disappointed if I paid $25 for these, or I think the ones at Home Depot are $13. I'd be a little upset if I paid $13 for these, but for $3, this is passable. The only thing I really don't like is that there's a gap here in between the socket and the bulb, which curiously enough did not exist on the clear strings that I bought last year, which is super bizarre because I would expect it to be the same, you know, the same sockets with different bulbs. This year it is the same sockets with different bulbs. But see how much space there is? If this is out in the rain, the water is just going to go in there and corrode. Now let's see what these look like. And these are pretty hard to screw up. I mean, there's no paint or anything, no coloring. They all work. Throwing off some nice heat like they're supposed to. They're bright. No flicker, of course. These are completely satisfactory other than I don't like how much gap is in the socket. I don't know how these would fare outside long term, but I don't know, ones outside there this year like this have the gap and they've been faring okay. So this is great for $3. These are perfectly fine. These color ones leave a bit to be desired, but for the price they're hard to beat. So alright, these all check out. Put these away and use them who knows when, maybe next year, maybe 10 years from now. But whenever it is, I'm sure I'll be glad I bought them on sale. I was glad I bought as many of these as I did last year, and I wish I had bought more. So this year I bought more. These are the clear C9 lights I got from Lowe's last year, and I just wanted to show what I was talking about inside. The bulb either is a different shape or the socket's a different shape, and it creates a perfect seal, which I imagine is watertight, up against the socket, whereas the colored ones don't do that. These are the colored ones I bought last year, and see, it's got the gap like the ones I bought this year. Now this has not been a problem. I'm pretty sure the ones from Home Depot, yeah, the ones from Home Depot have the gap. These have been out here for 2 years and they have never had a problem. So I guess it's okay. It just doesn't seem right to me. It's bizarre that those clear ones are designed that way. That's the way they should be. But why nothing else is beyond me. And here's a look at these. These have been out here for about a month now, and they've not really deteriorated at all.